Welcome to Science and Technology Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: Teck says sale of steelmaking coal arm proceeding as planned. Intel urges U.S. appeals court to undo $2.18 billion patent verdict. Further evidence points to footprints in New Mexico being the oldest sign of humans in Americas. New evidence that ancient footprints push back human arrival in North America. Georgie was haunted by her husband's death, but his autopsy will help their family. Teck says sale of steelmaking coal arm proceeding as planned. Financial Times. Canadian mining company Teck Resources has said it will continue with the sale of its steelmaking coal division, despite strained relations between Canada and India, a potential bidder for the unit. Ties between the two countries have deteriorated since Indian group JSW Steel expressed an interest in acquiring an $8 billion stake in the coal unit. Canada's Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, has alleged that the Indian government may have been involved in the murder of a Sikh separatist leader in British Columbia in June. Intel urges U.S. appeals court to undo $2.18 billion patent verdict. Reuters. Intel may have its $2.18 billion damages award overturned in its patent dispute with VLSI Technology. During Intel's appeal at the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit, a three-judge panel questioned the methodology of the damages experts' testimony that led to the large award. The panel also expressed concerns about the legal theory that led to the patent infringement finding. If the award is overturned, it would be a significant blow to VLSI, a patent holding company owned by SoftBank Group subsidiary Fortress Investment Group. Further evidence points to footprints in New Mexico being the oldest sign of humans in Americas. The Toronto Star. Fossil footprints found in New Mexico are likely the oldest evidence of human presence in the Americas, according to new research published in the journal Science. The footprints date back to between 21,000 and 23,000 years ago, challenging the conventional wisdom that humans did not reach the Americas until about 15,000 years ago. The study used two different materials found at the site, ancient conifer pollen and quartz grains, to confirm the older date range. The footprints provide important insights into the peopling of the Americas and the history of human migration. New evidence that ancient footprints push back human arrival in North America. New York Times. Researchers studying ancient footprints found in White Sands National Park in New Mexico have used additional methods to determine their age. The footprints suggest that humans could have made them as early as 21,000 to 23,000 years ago, making them some of the oldest evidence of people in the Americas. The findings have sparked excitement and skepticism, with calls for additional tests to back up the claims. The latest study used carbon isotope analysis of ancient pollen from terrestrial plants and optically stimulated luminescence to determine the age of the tracks. Georgie was haunted by her husband's death, but his autopsy will help their family. The Sydney Morning Herald. Autopsies, also known as postmortem examinations, are important in determining the cause of death for individuals who have died unexpectedly or in suspicious circumstances. They provide answers to critical questions about how a person died and what happened in their body that led to death. Autopsies can involve inspecting injuries, examining organs, and conducting various tests and analyses to gather information. For most deaths, autopsies are not necessary as the cause of death can be determined through medical history and examination. However, in cases where the cause of death is unclear or there are suspicions of foul play, autopsies are required by law. In Australia, deaths that are unexpected, unnatural, or violent are reported to a coroner, who then determines whether an autopsy is necessary. Autopsies can be invasive or non-invasive, depending on the circumstances. Invasive autopsies involve the examination of organs and tissues, while non-invasive autopsies use scans and other tests to determine the cause of death. The decision to perform an autopsy is made in consultation with the deceased person's family, taking into account their wishes and cultural or religious beliefs. Autopsies can provide closure and answers for grieving families. They can help identify underlying health conditions, genetic risks, or environmental factors that may have contributed to the person's death. Autopsies can also aid in criminal investigations by providing evidence and identifying possible suspects or objects of interest. Overall, autopsies play a crucial role in understanding death and providing valuable information that can help the living. Experts reveal their top tips for getting cheaper flights. The Sydney Morning Herald. Australian travelers can save up to 32% on airfares by using new travel hacks in the post-COVID world, according to Expedia and Skyscanner. Expedia recommends booking flights on a Sunday rather than a Friday to save up to 20%, and leaving on a Friday or Tuesday rather than a Sunday or Thursday to save up to 23%. Skyscanner has introduced a new tool that allows travelers to find the cheapest week, day, and time to travel based on their destination and month of travel. The tool can produce savings of up to 32% for a family of 4. North Korean hackers target South Korea's shipbuilding tech. Nikkei Asia. South Korean shipbuilding companies have been targeted by cyber attacks believed to be orchestrated by North Korea in an attempt to steal technical data that could strengthen the North Korean Navy. The South Korean National Intelligence Service, NIS, detected attempts by organized North Korean hackers to breach the shipbuilders' systems in August and September, urging the industry to strengthen security measures. The hackers compromised computers belonging to an IT maintenance company and sent phishing emails to shipbuilders' employees. South Korea is concerned that the attackers were targeting sensitive naval technologies held by shipbuilders, some of whom are major industry players constructing naval destroyers and submarines. The country has asked major shipbuilding companies to check their networks, separate internal networks from the internet, and confirm the security of remote connections to customer companies. Sierra Leone political paralysis threatens millions of dollars in aid. Financial Times. Sierra Leone risks losing millions of dollars in aid on which the country depends as government activity grinds to a halt following disputed elections earlier this year. U.S. development agency Millennium Challenge Corporation has paused work on a 5-year grant to the country amid the fallout from the June elections. The cancellation of the funding would be a blow to one of the world's poorest nations, which received $697 million of overseas development assistance in 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your resident observer from the 6 Degrees world, here to bring you the latest news from around the globe. Today, we have a diverse range of stories, from mining disputes to ancient footprints, autopsies to travel hacks, and even cyber attacks. So, let's dive in. First up, Canadian mining company Teck Resources is moving forward with the sale of its steelmaking coal division, despite tensions between Canada and India. This comes as Indian group JSW Steel expressed interest in acquiring a stake in the coal unit. It's a high-stakes game, and we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. In the tech world, Intel is appealing a $2.18 billion damages award in its patent dispute with VLSI Technology. The 3-judge panel has raised questions about the methodology behind the damages expert's testimony, as well as the legal theory that led to the patent infringement finding. It's a battle of the tech giants, and the outcome could have significant implications. Moving on to archaeology, new evidence suggests that footprints found in New Mexico may be the oldest sign of human presence in the Americas. These footprints, dating back 21,000 to 23,000 years, challenge the conventional belief that humans arrived in the Americas around 15,000 years ago. It's a fascinating discovery that sheds light on the history of human migration. Shifting gears, let's talk about autopsies. They play a crucial role in determining the cause of death, especially in cases of unexpected or suspicious deaths. Autopsies provide answers to critical questions and can provide closure for grieving families. They also aid in criminal investigations by providing evidence. So, while they may not be the most pleasant topic, autopsies are an essential part of understanding death and gathering valuable information. Now, let's take a breather and talk about travel. Expedia and Skyscanner have shared their top tips for getting cheaper flights in the post-COVID world. According to them, booking flights on a Sunday and leaving on a Friday or Tuesday can lead to significant savings. Skyscanner has even introduced a tool that helps travelers find the cheapest time to travel based on their destination and month of travel. So, if you're planning your next trip, be sure to take advantage of these travel hacks. In a more serious tone, we have news of cyber attacks targeting South Korean shipbuilding companies, believed to be orchestrated by North Korea. These attacks aim to steal technical data that could strengthen the North Korean Navy. The South Korean National Intelligence Service has warned the industry to strengthen security measures. It's a reminder that even in the digital age, the threat of cyber attacks is very real. Lastly, we have Sierra Leone facing a political paralysis that could result in the loss of millions of dollars in aid. The disputed elections earlier this year have caused government activity to come to a halt, leading to the suspension of a 5-year grant from the U.S. Millennium Challenge Corporation. This is a significant blow to a country that heavily relies on aid for development. Well, that's all the news we have for today. Remember, these stories are just the tip of the iceberg, and there's always more to discover and discuss. So, what are your thoughts? Do you have any burning questions or intriguing insights? I'm all ears, so let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for joining me, Dr. Six, on this journey through the news. Stay curious, stay informed, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.